Sligo Jazz is completely immersive. It's all about basically coming to Sligo, meeting lots of new people, getting really involved with the music and spending a lot of time focusing on getting better as a musician, but also you get such a lot of opportunity to watch the pros, to watch the professional musicians and to play with them, which is super important, to watch how they work together, to be inspired by that, to inspire the members of your own group. It's phenomenal. I don't know anything else like it, really. It's amazing. It's amazing. This is my 4th year and I've had such a great time, and long may it continue. Long may the jazz and the summer school continue.
You have to go to Sligo Jazz. Whatever level you are, and even if you're not a musician, it's worth. There's people here that were here last year as well that I know just come up to be part of it. And I think the thing that I take away mostly from this is the spirit, and of course that all starts with Eddie and Trace and the family, but then all of you, each one of you, is just a wonderful spirit. And whether you play or whether you just love music, come to Sligo Jazz.
I went to jazz camp when I was in high school, and it changed my life. That's why I'm here today. And I went from being someone who was unsure what he wanted to do to having a direction, and it's still the path I'm on to this day. So this jazz education thing, it's unbelievable. So the people who come to these concerts and pay for tickets, and all the people who fund this, and the parents that send their kids or whomever, everyone, I'm so grateful for all that you do for this. It's just fantastic. So.
It's like a paradise. You're just doing music from the moment you wake up till you go to bed, and it's like you could start off at 9 o'clock in the morning and finish at 3 o'clock the next morning, and then get up the next day and do it all again. You learn loads of new things, you'll meet loads of new friends, and it's just all good.
Playing wise, the tutors and the other students, because everybody's so varied, they're all coming from different places. Some of them play blues, some of them play jazz, I play pop, everybody's so varied, and then apart from that, seeing the concerts, especially in the Hawkswell, just unbelievable. So I volunteered, which meant that I actually ended up doing sound for some of the jazz sessions. Definitely felt myself push on as an engineer, and to be able to work in a team, especially like the one we have at Sligo Jazz, it's just great, and it really makes it enjoyable.
I had a brilliant week teaching, learning, listening to so much great music and so many great musicians. As one of the tutors, I always get a lot out of not just teaching all students, but from learning from them and seeing how they learn and listen to all of the other tutors and their approaches to music. It's just been a great week.
For me, Sligo Jazz has been a totally life-changing experience. Down here, there's every kind of instrumentalist under the world. So, you really get an idea for what drummers are thinking about and what guitarists are thinking about and what singers are thinking about, I think it's such a phenomenal experience to get just immersed in the whole genre and immersed in the whole idea of jazz, it's just, it can't even be put into words. The value I get of this you can't put a figure on it.
The kinship and the musicianship that happens and develops over the week. If it was a one-day thing, maybe you wouldn't get a chance for it to seep into you. But the fact that we have a week together as faculty and students is kind of priceless, to be able to get to know the town and the community and the people inside the program. It pays off dividends for us faculty, and what I really hope for, is for the students as well, who have, thankfully, not super short time. A week is not a huge amount of time, but it's good enough to take some information, maybe hold on to some dear memories, and make it part of their everyday life for the remaining weeks of the year.
worked at also when Sasho from New York did this fabulous, really sophisticated sort of New York jazz, and his voice is brilliant. And then at the end, for the encore, he brought on 3 singers from the project who sang with him. And I thought it was very generous of him to do that, and you saw this warmth and friendliness and what the whole place is about, really. It's bringing tears to my eyes now. It was fabulous.
It's a family, isn't it, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're just audience.
So,
you know, we're not even playing instruments, and yet we get sort of caught up in the emotion of it, really, because it's just wonderful.
so we'll be back next year?
We're coming next year, yeah. We're still married.
Well, I'll be back anyway.
I'll be back. We're not necessarily together.
I live in Liverpool now, but I'm originally from London, and I love Sligo. This is my 5th Sligo Jazz Festival, and it gets better and better each year. Different, varied, but the wonderful friendships you make here, you just carry them through the year and then back again next year. It's great. I recommend it to anybody. I've been telling everybody about it, so it's good. You go to other things and you think that was nice and you leave it behind, but with Sligo it just carries on through the year. You can't wait till next year.
This week on the bass faculty we had Federico Malaman and Connor Murray, which was great because I've known Connor for many years. I first met him as a young student here in Sligo, and he's really come a long way. He's a professional bass player now. He's dedicated his life to this music and also to learning to play the bass. And it's a joy to see someone like that come up through the ranks, first as a student, several years as a student, and now he's an apprentice teacher or a young teacher at the workshop, and he's doing a fantastic job. Sounds great. I only showed him a little bit of that. All the rest was his own hard work.
Sligo Jazz is a kind of a fantastic jam-packed experience where you come on this summer course as a student and a participant, but outside of the whole school, you also get to go and see amazing performances of wonderful musicians. Like on the first night they had Andreas Varady playing, and they had a bass genius, I guess you would say, Michel Pibequina, playing another night with his quartet, and that was just some really amazing music as well. So I think Sligo is this experience of where they take music and education and they put it all into one thing, and it's this all-round experience, and I think it leaves you feeling very satisfied at the end of it, and definitely makes me want to go and practice.
I just was here in the Sligo Jazz Festival for watch Michael Pipoquinho and his band. Just incredible band. I can't describe what I just watched. When I saw this guy on TV, about 13 years old, I just watched and say, I can describe. The word is amazing. And that was nice. It's like Jazz Festival. I really loved, that's the word.
All the performances I've seen, and the highlights have been seeing people, everyone, just like their faces when they sort of so nervous. I mean, there's one thing that happens at the beginning of the week. There's excitement and it's brilliant, but we forget, because we're having such a good time, that some people turn up and they are riddled with nerves. We're riddled with it, and they can't quite express it, and they feel a little bit like they might be on their own because of that. You're not on your own. We all feel it. I felt it. Sarah felt it before. We're just as nervous teaching you as you are probably to think the idea of singing in public, but I promise you there's not a feeling like it, and we help you. We're going to be your biggest blankets, and we're going to just comfort you, and we've got you cradled basically, but you don't need it after a couple of days. You actually sort of think, oh no, I'm fine, mate. I'm going to go off and play in the jam. It's such an absolutely jam-packed, condensed tin of music and love that you open it and you only need a little bit at a time, but you don't get it. It's like it's open and you can't shut it till the end, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. You might as well jump in, and it's an amazing community spirit. If you want to take yourself off on your own and have a little think, you can. There's freedom. No one worries about that. You can do what you like. And oh yeah, you happen to be in Sligo, which is one of the most beautiful towns in the world.
There's about 50 years in the can of playing jazz. I encountered Sligo Jazz Festival, came up for the first time in 2015, and I've been back every year since. The Jam is really the centre of this whole festival, because it's the embodiment of the learning that goes on during the day in the master classes, in the ensemble groups, and all those things. The concerts in the Hawkswell are seeing people at the height of their powers, you know, top line people from throughout the world, and the jams then somehow bridge that gap with the addition that the person is a participant in the jams. A week of highlights. Where do I stop? I was here for Sligo Jazz 2019. Worse than that, I'll be back for Sligo Jazz 2020. Watch this space.